we're going to close probably close to $40,000 in monthly recurring revenue the first year. That's $480,000 for 3 years that we're going to add to it. So that is massive, massive. It's very difficult to get that much recurring revenue, especially in a 1 year time period. But that's where we're headed for right now. So you have to take the time and you have to invest in somebody who's going to get you those appointments and work with you. And that's what I think Arsenal Business Growth has done for us. I'm Dan Hale with Paxis Technologies. We've been in business since 1981. We have been a partner with Arsenal BG for probably about 7 months now. You guys were doing some cold calling and prospecting, and then I started researching um, marketing companies for MSPs, and we have been looking at other people. So did research with you guys online, about you guys online. I'd actually read the testimonials or listened to the testimonials. One of your other people that you worked with before in the past is a friend of mine. Reached out to him and decided to give you guys an opportunity. Well, I come from the sales background, not the technical background. So it's always been more difficult um, for technical people to learn how to sell. And in the IT world, it's a lot longer sales cycle. So you've got to do something to build your pipeline. And we had not done that for a while because we had gotten so big and grew so fast. I had to take some time to work on our systems. And then with COVID occurring, with everything going on, the old days of cold calling, prospecting, knocking on a door is not as how do you want to put it? Not as effective anymore. So you needed a three-prong approach. And the fact that you guys are dialing for dollars, as I call it, I can listen to the videos, I could see the bullpen. That's really what led me to give you guys an opportunity. Well, I knowing from the sales cycle that you had to build a pipeline, and I anticipated, we worked with you guys with a benchmark and what when you guys needed to hit. Um, I wanted to fill the pipeline, figuring that, we talked to somebody today and we may not get anything for 3 to 6 months. You have to expect that. You're not going to get instant success. It's going great. We started with that process, and 2 to 3 months in, we started to get some traction, got some appointments. One of the things we did and recommend is that we are willing to take project work because we felt like that was a way to get our foot in the door. So, with Mason's help, our rep from Arsenal BG, we got 2 or 3 clients that need a security assessment. So that was a great way to get an intro. Um, and in fact, that one of those have led to us signing a contract with them for a 15,000 a month recurring revenue. It's great communication. We have a weekly call. We go through everything. I also use Arsenal. Like I have some old clients or old databases when we used to sell copiers. That division was sold off. We are working that database also. So it's not just simple you guys going through a Zoom list and bringing things out. We're also working in conjunction as a partner for you guys helping market to some of our older clients and some of our older businesses. I think transparency is one of them. What I mean by that is the fact that I can listen to every call. I can listen in the bullpen. That You guys are willing to you gave us a benchmark. You didn't guarantee us any revenue, but we guaranteed so many appointments, which I think is really key and qualified appointments. Um, the other thing is that I really liked about what Arsenal BG does is you guys only do one MSP per market. So I don't have to worry about you guys calling my clients or calling other people for another MSP. And that says a lot when you're that transparent and you are sticking behind that. Because I have 2 locations. My other location, you already have a good client you've had for years. You won't even call for us. And I really respect that aspect from you guys. Not at all. I think it's a prong attack. I think you gotta use the phone. You've gotta go see people. Once you do have an appointment, stop by, see them. I believe you still have to do all of your, marketing on your website, and I even still think you sometimes gotta do some mailers, a newsletter, things of that nature. You have to take a full prong approach to be in front of that client when there's an issue that they're going to think of you to call you. That's really what we're doing. You're never going to get if you get somebody convinced on a first call that they need to switch to you, they're going to switch away from you very quickly the same way. You have to be there. You have to build that relationship and get when they have an issue, you're the one they call to solve that problem. Yeah, he's very coachable. He's very good on the phone. He's actually helping. I have an account manager that's also trying to generate new business, and he's been very helpful with her to help her in a lot of areas. We talk and communicate about what we need to do. We're working on a client right now that he and I are playing ping pong with it, as I say. I suggest this, he calls, I call, turn around and do that. We're throwing a lot at them, trying to get them on the hook. So you have to take different approaches to different types of clients in different situations. Well, we started off, we had to do the onboarding, which took 4 to 6 weeks. We had to go through process. We also created some collateral material that Mason needed. So that took a little bit of time. Once he started screening the clients or the type of customers we wanted. He started in we got some appointments probably after he set a few about 7 weeks in. And 7, 8 weeks in, which I felt was very good. And then he started building a pipeline. We have had probably, we fully got going back in about April 1 after onboarding. So from April to now, what's that, 6 months? We've had over 20 something solid appointments. We have closed over $20,000 a monthly recurring revenue. We have also closed two additional security assessments that are gonna lead into more business. We also have 4 other customers that we've gone proposals with that it probably equaled another 25,000 in recurring revenue potential. We have more that are coming in through the pipeline. Um, we know we're gonna close another one for 12.5 in January. So, yeah, we've had really great success. Am I shocked? I'm very shocked at how fast it's worked, but we're putting the work into it, and also, Mason's working real hard. We signed one contract about 2 weeks ago that takes effect on October 1. We signed one 2 months ago for 15,000 that took effect. So and these are both 3-year contracts. So you're looking at 20. We're bringing in 240,000 a year on those two contracts times three. So what is that? $720,000 in recurring revenue we're going to get over the next 3 years already with what we've had with the first 6 months with Arsenal BG. We right now in the pipeline an additional 25,000. That was a doctor's group. It was 15,000, and that actually is going to grow a little bit because things have changed. So, that's a pretty good size in our business. That's a huge contract at 15,000 a month. And then one that pays and puts you on auto pay to pay you. And we're solving a lot of issues with this client is also going to probably come at least $250,000 worth of project work over the next 24 months.
Good news today. My client in Knoxville closed a deal. This one was a fun one. I called the and they told me that my timing was literally perfect. They have 2 in-house IT that just weren't doing their jobs correctly or efficiently. So we met with them and we did some project work for them just to do some discovery, deep dive into their infrastructure. That was about 3 weeks ago. They called us right about after we were done with that discovery side of things and said, hey, we need a fully managed contract. So we got that over to them same day, and they signed last week.
But what we do is Mason and I have a system in place where he's gathering information. We do some things. We a lot of times will do that initial call, but several clients, we've had an initial call and then we want to go on site. And in the MSP world, they want to go on site, they want to talk to them, then they want to come back and they do a discovery, then they want to come back again and give the proposal. And this is a long drawn out process. What we do is that we walk in, we have our system down, we go in, Mason already gets us the information. We do that one-time communication with them. And then I actually, the next time when we go on site, I estimate what I think their contracts and our 3 programs that we have. I already have a proposal for them ready to go with pricing, and I also give them, our contracts, being transparent. Here's what if you go with us, this is what you're gonna get. Here's our contract, what's covered, what's not. Here's your SLAs. I tell them, "Hey, listen, this is based on the information you've already given us. Unless we see a huge change in something, this is what you can bank on." Well, that makes a big difference that they're looking at it and they're looking at looking at what if they're shopping us, they're looking at it. If they're current provider, hey, wait a minute, I pay this much, but I don't get this. It gets it there. They also can pull it out 2 weeks later or a month later and say, hey, this is what I need. So I think we speed the process along. There's no reason to keep drawing this out, do all this research because the client, if they're ready to move, they're going to move. I've always thought like that we're a small MSP, and I found out down the road that we really were not. Is that we were about 2.8 million before we started with Arsenal. My goal is to get us to 5 million. And we're already 240,000 towards that right now. We have more in the pipeline. So on top of our other marketing and our other growth that we're doing, our goal is to basically double the company in a 3-year period. I've already gotten it for the whole year already. So yes, it's like anything else is. If you're going to listen to your guys, get the appointment and you go in if you go in and, oh, this is not the type of client I want, or I don't want to do project work. You have that negativity aspect of it. You're not going to get the results you want. You have to go in there knowing, hey, this is what it is. I may not get the perfect client, but I'm going to get revenue. And the ideal is that, you gotta go in and our whole process is that they have to look at it as they've gotta onboard, stabilize, standardize, and that's really what we do is that we try to stable on it. We get you onboarded, stabilized, and then standardize you. One of the things we took out that might be helpful for people, everybody's charging onboarding fees. And if you listen to everybody wants to charge onboarding fees. You need to do it. You need to do it. As an owner of a company, if you walked in and sat there and said, I just bought a firewall or I bought something else, and you come in and say, hey, you're going to have to pay me $3,000 and spend $10,000 changing out your system to match what I want to manage, I'm going to probably tell you that, you need to get out of my office in a nicer way. The reality of it is what we have done in our proposals is that we charge an onboarding fee, but we defer it. And then if you do your 36 months, we waive it. If you leave within 36 months, you have to pay us when you want for us to offboard you. That's a good cycle to do with people, but you can't go in there and expect business owners to pay you a huge chunk of money for you to be able to standardize it to your requirements. Bringing them up is one thing, but making them change firewalls, change certain things for your convenience doesn't work, in my opinion. First, let's start off with a simple fact of numbers. If you go in and buy Apollo or Zoom to get your list and the cleaner and all that, that's on average close to $20,000 a year. All right. So right there, you're going to have to spend at least 8 to 10,000 minimum to get some sort of decent list cleaning contact, more closer to probably 20. Okay. Then you have to hire somebody. Then you have to make sure that they are trained. You have to oversee them. You have to make sure they're making their 50, 60, 70 calls. They're going to get frustrated. They're going to hate what they're doing and they're going to basically bolt. Okay. You then can also look at outsourcing in, let's say, from India, which we tried, which was a disaster. You can do the Philippines. We decided not to do that. You have to look at the realistic that if you want some results, you're going to have to invest the money. And you're investing X amount for the marketplace for those results. And if you don't get them, you're not going to keep doing it. But the new hires, you're in today's world to get a telemarketer, they're not going to stick around. That's the reality of it today. Finding somebody to dial for dollars and call 50 people a day or 100 people a day are not there. You just can't find them. So it's a very difficult thing to do. A prime example is we were using a company just to clean our list in order to get it into our CRM to make sure we can, you know, um, email market to them and, send newsletters, things of that nature. And I gave them a list. And on that list of 700, I wanted them to clean. I knew what was good and was not. I know these people. I play golf with the owners. I do things with them. And they were coming back telling me that that out of 700, there was like 80 that were good. I know 200 of them on the list that are businessmen and that I know that are there and valid. They just couldn't penetrate and confirm and clean that list up. So it was not a real good result for us. You guys came in and you have automation, you have the AI, you have everything there that you have to have in place. And that's why people may think you're more expensive, but you have already invested in the tools to do this stuff. Revenue share because I'm a salesperson and I want people to have incentives to go get me some results. Unlike a lot of people is because I know I started out in this world selling typewriters and copiers, and it was straight commission, knocking on doors and working hard in order to build it up. And um, when the easiest thing is to get more sales was to dangle a carrot in front of somebody, more money. And when a sales rep has that carrot in front of them that they can make X amount on that deal, they're going to be a lot more attentive and work a little extra harder to get you the appointment, that one extra appointment that may turn into that lead. We still are only expecting, three good quality calls per month. That's all we're asking for. That's how we started, and that's all we're still maintaining. And, and we are, at times right now we're onboarding 2 clients. I told them, "Hey, listen, we've got to push a couple out a week, couple of weeks. Let's do it because we can't handle that volume." But I'm handling a lot of the calls. So I can work with the client if we're moving them forward and moving them to where they need to be at time wise. But no, we just are expecting 3 our arrangement was 3 good prospects or 3 good calls a month, and we have been averaging that. I think we've almost like at 5. So, that's what I'm saying is we've had well over 20 good calls. We're still working with people. We have worked with people that have in-house IT people that we're willing to supplement, and that's where we're picking up some of the um, security assessments. Um, right now I've had such a good positive, um, experience so far in the first 6 or 7 months of working with you guys. We are coming into hockey season, so maybe Blackhawks Blues tickets might be according to, what I need and all of that. Um, no, I think you guys are doing a great job. It's open. I think maybe share a little bit more what you guys are going to do. You guys are going to do in your pipeline to help us increase our revenue and help us get appointments down the road. Some of what you got, what's going on with your growth. Well, I mean, I right now on a monthly basis, we're working with you guys. We've already got it. I think, I anticipate we signed up for a year. We're going to make that commitment for a year, and I don't anticipate us changing for the next couple of years. It's working well. By the time we get through the first year, Mason will have a great dynamics understanding of our market, so he'll know who to go after the following year. So I see this as a 1 to 3 year process minimum. And then when you guys, then if at that time our other market may be open, or we may move into another market at that stage. Actually, I just came from a meeting, conference, and I recommended you guys to 2 people, and also another third friend of mine in New York that you guys are talking to. Well, I told him, I said, "You're gonna spend some money. You gotta realize you're gonna spend some money. This is not cheap to get somebody to dial and use this technology to get where you need to be." And I think, in the MSP world, people they're afraid to spend money. They want to focus on cutting their stack by $500 a month and rebuilding it, and that time does not really grow your business. You've got to take that time, energy, and that money and put it into getting revenue. And you can only cut so much. You have to build your revenue. So, people think that it's an expensive, but if you look at hiring somebody, even at $20 an hour, $20 an hour, you're not going to get a good telemarketer for less than 20 or 25 an hour. That's a 52,000 a year salary plus benefits, plus expenses, plus anything else. You probably aren't going to keep them for more than 3 months. So you're going to be in that cycle of hiring and retraining. It's going to cost you a lot of money. It's a lot easier to handle and partner with somebody like Arsenal PG that knows what they're doing and focuses just on this. Mason, thanks for all your hard work. You don't need a fifth daughter. And so you just get it too. You got to have a little bit of fun. That's the other thing is too. Everybody takes stuff too serious. You got to have a little bit of fun. That's why we show up to work. You make money to live, not to live to work.